Hello! Welcome to my admittedly kind of eerie new set. You're gonna have to bear with me for a while as I kind of grow into it, because this is the basement of a 200-plus-year-old house. So, I don't know what weird sounds we're gonna run into. I'm clearly trying to get the lighting, and that's not going great back here. I don't know what the audio's gonna sound like. I'm praying to God that it's okay. I'm burning alive because there's no air conditioning down here, and I can't plug the fan in because of the aforementioned audio issues. So, we're gonna make do. And I promise, eventually, this place is gonna look really cool. It might just take a little bit. But this video is the perfect place to introduce this new creepy set. Now you may be wondering why I'm dressed like I'm trying to find my wife. I mean, the title probably already gave it away, but it's because we're making drinks based off of some of my favorite spooky games. That's right, it's a Halloween special. See, I love horror. It is easily one of my favorite genres, and naturally, I also love horror games. I especially love survival horror. Hence the outfit. And so when it came time to think of a Halloween special, naturally that is just where my mind went. So we're gonna make two drinks based off of two of my favorite series today, and while one admittedly isn't really a horror series, I think when you see what it is, everyone will agree it gets a pass. Now without further ado, I'm sweating to death and need to take this outfit off. 4 layers in a musty basement was not a good idea. Alright, let's make some cocktails. Now, I would be remiss not to start with my favorite video game horror series, Resident Evil. Now, technically, I have talked about this series on the channel before, just not the parts of it that make me happy. So let's just put all of that pain aside and focus on the parts that I like. Now, when trying to come up with a Resident Evil drink, naturally my mind first went to trying to make something called the T-Virus. My brother, who is also a big Resident Evil fan, said the same thing. But then I thought about it more, thought of another thing that is a staple of the series and is actually consumable: the mixed herbs. Resident Evil's signature healing item are its herbs. These herbs have potent medicinal effects. They are why Umbrella is based in Raccoon City, as they grow exclusively in the Arklay Mountains, which is here in the Midwest. So I'm actually pretty close to where you'd be able to find them in real life, which is mildly terrifying actually, and they come in a wide variety of colors. Now initially my idea was to do green, yellow, and red and try and make a layered thing like in Resident Evil 4, but then my brother pointed out yellow herbs are only in Resident Evil 4, and so he said that I needed to do green, blue, and red. And so that's what we're gonna do. When thinking of a green herb that you drink, my mind naturally drifted to matcha. Now I have to be honest, and I really like matcha. But to be fair, it's not just matcha. I hate all tea. Sorry, I don't want to drink leaf water. But I'm willing to suffer for my art, so what I have here is basically the concentrated matcha before you would pour in more water or milk to make the actual tea. This is just the powder and a little bit of water to make it liquid. So this is extremely potent. Oh, okay. For the sake of the video, let's do a whole ounce. Oh my god, that's so green. Of our matcha shots, followed by, let's say, 3/4 of an ounce of blue Curacao. Now I'm going to admit, I have not made this yet. I thought it would be more fun to try it for the first time on camera. This could be god-awful. I don't know. We're gonna find out. If it hurts and tastes like medicine, honestly, that's just more accurate. So, oh, if it wasn't obvious, also the blue Curacao is the blue herb. The sweetness will help tamper down the poison of the matcha bitterness, so there we go. And then true to its purpose in the game, our red herb replacement will only make it a lot stronger. Yes, I am using Maker's Mark exclusively because the cap was red, and I thought that was funny. The only other options for red are like getting into pepper or cinnamon, and I don't really want to do that, so we're gonna finish it off with 2 ounces of Maker's Mark. That is just barely not enough. Good thing I have a second bottle. As I was saying, 2 ounces of Maker's Mark. We'll give it a nice shake. If it's true to the early games, this is just gonna be a gross brown. Oh my god. That's not a gross brown. I thought the blue Curacao would like fight back in some way, but that is just pure green. You know what? We'll put the ice in. God, that looks like one of those probiotic herbal scoop smoothies. Oh. It doesn't smell bad, though. And there you have your mixed herbs. I also forgot to mention the bit that Kentucky bourbon, Midwest, our Clay Mountains, that was also part of the selection for why it went in here. I just completely forgot to mention that. Anyways, to our health. Whoa, you know what? That's not that bad. And kinda tastes like medicine. Oh, yeah. It's got this citrusy sweetness up front that is reminiscent of an artificially sweet flavored medicine. And then when you swallow, that's where all the matcha comes in. And this bitter aftertaste just kind of washes over your tongue for a little bit. Just like you took a little shot of medicine. Oh, that's actually really pretty good. That worked way better than I thought it was going to. I would not drink that all the time, by any means. But as far as trying to make something that felt medicinal, that's exactly it. It's not unpleasant. I think quite a few people would actually really like this, especially if they like matcha. I already said I don't. But even then, it's not totally turning me off because it's just that aftertaste. It's just at the end. But up front, you have the feeling of bourbon sweetness. It is that round, open sweetness that comes with drinking a bourbon like Maker's Mark. But the flavor is mildly citrusy with just a hint of that matcha. It kind of tastes like an orangey tea. The matcha and the blue curacao are mixing together to make a new kind of flavor that feels like that kind of artificial flavor. And then you swallow, it's always there. And the matcha, all the herb comes right back and it just becomes all matcha. But what you're left with at the end, when the matcha hits the remnants of that citrus and washes back away and calms down, is almost kind of bubblegum-like. It's like double bubble bubblegum. But not when you're chewing it. A few minutes after you spat it out and it's still just kind of lingering in there. It's that. Almost like it wants to be tropical, but the matcha is reminding you it's medicine. I am obviously lacking a lot of supplies. I don't have any fruits or anything here right now, so I can't really garnish it with anything. I think you could do either an orange peel or orange slice. I'm just gonna add a couple drops of orange bitters to kind of like emulate that, I guess. I don't want a full dash, because that'll just completely affect the flavor. Yeah, that would do it. Oh! That got rid of most of the matcha aftertaste. It's still there, but it's not as much of a very clear and distinct, like, here comes the matcha all across your tongue. So yeah, give it an orange slice or an orange peel. That is shockingly not that bad. All right, well, we nailed that one. And there you are, the mixed herbs. So go ahead, take a sip, and let it heal you. Now, I admitted earlier that this second drink isn't exactly based on a horror series, but it is based on Castlevania. I mean, come on. If anything gets a pass, it's Castlevania. Can you think of anything more Halloween than Castlevania? If anything gets a pass, it's Castlevania. It's got Dracula. It's got skeletons. It's got werewolves. It's got skeletons. It's got Frankenstein. It's got skeletons. It's got Dracula again. It's got Dracula, but backwards. It's Castlevania. If you can't accept Castlevania as being part of a Halloween video, then you can close this right now, because I don't want you watching the rest. Alright, now that only the fun people are left, let's get to making this drink. For Castlevania, we're going to make a take on the Corpse Reviver number 2. But since the Belmont's job is to do the exact opposite, this is the Corpse Killer number 2, aka Holy Water. And naturally, you can't serve holy water in anything other than a glass jar. I'm not going to throw it though, because this was a birthday present, and I like it, and I don't want to break it, so... Now, a Corpse Reviver number 2 starts with a rinse of absinthe, but to pay homage to the holy water's ironically fiery effects in Castlevania, we are going to do a rinse of this Ancha Ray's Chili Ancha Liqueur. So, I'm just going to pour a little bit in. Whoa, that's a lot of it. I haven't even had that much to drink. I'm just like this. We're going to pour a bit in, rinse the whole jar with it, pour out our excess. And then we're going to go ahead and just build the rest of the drink in here. Because of how this jar works, I'm going to pour a double, and honestly, we may even have to go to a triple to just really make it look right. Don't worry, again, I'm not going to drink all of that, but I'm going to tell you, and the text will show you the amount for one of these cocktails, so don't be alarmed if yours looks like a lot less than mine does. The sink sounds like a screeching woman. How perfect for this video. And the measurements are also actually super easy, because they're all 3/4 of an ounce. So, also just remember that. 3/4 of an ounce of dry gin. I'm using Monk's Road dry gin because Monk holy water, I thought it was funny. 3/4 of an ounce of dry vermouth. Now in a proper corpse reviver, that would be Lillet Blanc, which is not exactly dry vermouth, but I couldn't find it and it's close enough. This is a different drink to begin with, so I can say whatever I want. It's dry vermouth now. Now for our orange liqueur, and to get the color right, we are going to use 3/4 of an ounce of blue Curacao. And finally, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. I'm just going to give it a little shake for fun, make sure it all mixed together. You know what? I'm making it a triple. And there is your holy water. I mean, come on, that looks perfect, right? That blue, the jar. Whoa! Oh my god. That was an assault of flavor. Where do I start there? You start with a lemon tartness that goes into a powerful reminder of the dry vermouth, which then subsides into the sweetness of the blue Curacao, the nice citrus flavor that is bolstered up by the gin. The gin isn't really too powerful in here. If anything, it might be punching up the dry vermouth a lot, but again, it's not really super present in here. Everything else is fighting for dominance. There's a very subtle taste of the entrees in there. But I did this the other night, and I used too much last time, so I know not to use as much. Alright, it's gotta be fiery. I'll do it. I'm gonna add in 1 dash of habanero bitters. Just to give it the pain it so rightfully deserves. Oh my god, it is so potent. The smell alone has already hit me. Oh. It is just taking over the whole drink now. Okay. Weirdly, that has tied it all together. The flavor's not... Oh, wait, there it is. Oh, it hurts. Doing that when I was already sweating was not a good idea. Okay. There's a fiery jar now. But again, it actually tied all of those flavors together. It wasn't a terrible idea, except for my mouth. Ha. It kind of becomes like a lemon candy now. Not too strong, subtle lemon candy. Like, it's not as potent as a lemon head. It's very subtle and subdued in its lemon flavor. Maybe a lemon skittle even more tame. But then the habanero comes in. I used too much again. If you can handle heat, that's a good idea. It makes it a completely different drink. Everything I was talking about those massively strong flavors kind of flowing in one after the other, fighting for your attention, they all slam together now. It's all just one thing. And then that's kicked in the ass by the habanero right at the end. It just says, hello, fire now. Is that more accurate to the game? Maybe. Maybe don't do the rinse of entrees. You could probably get away with doing 1/4 ounce in there. It would be less painful than this is, I'll tell you that. But if you want suffering, if you are some kind of... Oh, you played the classic Castlevania games, you might be a masochist. So, hey, if you want that... Oh, God. My entire mouth burns. We need to end this video now, actually. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I never thought I'd be thankful for matcha. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know I enjoyed making it, except for the fact that my lips are still on fire. If this ended up being a shorter one, I'm sorry. My life has been a massive, hectic mess. I know it's been a hot minute, but it was kind of hard enough to even find the time to record this one video for this month. So, thank you so much for bearing with me. I promise we will get to a more regular schedule soon. I just need to do a bunch of stuff like move. Hence why the new studio. I will be moving closer to this set soon, but for the time being, long story short, I still live in the other house and can't film there, so I have to come here to do everything, and I'm really busy with work. I promise we will get to a more regular schedule soon. I promise this set will look very cool in the coming months, and I'm going to try and fix all the problems that I discover with this very video. So please look forward to that. I hope you stick with me over the coming months. And hey, if you did like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, do all of the YouTube things, and especially share it with all of your friends who love horror games, who love cocktails, who love Castlevania. I would really appreciate it, and it massively helps the channel. And what also helps the channel is becoming a member, where you will get exclusive videos, early videos, all of my stream VODs. I try very hard to make it worth your while, so please consider doing so. If you want me to talk about any other horror games or video games in general, please let me know down below. If you have any other topics that you think would make for great cocktails, please let me know down below. If you liked the weird horror short at the start of the video, please let me know down below. I have a really bad habit of making those when no one asked me to, so I like to hear when people like it. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. And until then, make sure to kill the undead and keep on top of your health. Those did not work well together. That was a bad idea. Oh my god.